She had not planned on 2 cats. She had not even planned on 1. But life has a way of arranging things without consulting you, and by the time Emma realized what was happening, she had a gray tabby named Navi in the spare bedroom and an orange kitten named Luffy in a cardboard carrier on her kitchen floor, and 2 animals who had never met and no guarantee they ever would. Then she woke up on the 3rd morning and found them like this, pressed together, eyes closed, cheeks touching, breathing in the same slow rhythm. And she stood in the doorway for a long time before she could make herself move. But to understand what that morning meant, you have to understand how they got there. Navi came first. Emma had found her outside a convenience store on a Tuesday night in March, sitting very upright on top of a dumpster, looking at the parking lot with an expression that suggested she found the entire situation beneath her. She was thin and her fur was matted, and one of her ears had a small notch in it that the vet later told Emma was from a fight she had won. She was maybe 8 months old. She had no microchip. Emma had taken her home, telling herself it was temporary, which is what everyone says, and which is rarely true. Navi settled into Emma's apartment within a week. She claimed the armchair near the window, established a feeding schedule she enforced with considerable conviction, and treated Emma's presence as a reasonable but non-essential feature of her environment. She was not unfriendly, she was independent. She had clearly survived on her own terms for long enough that depending on anyone felt like a choice rather than a necessity, and she made that choice selectively and on her own timeline. She was not a cat who asked for things. She waited to see what was offered and decided, on her own terms, whether it was worth accepting. Emma had learned to respect that. It had taken 3 weeks and several rejected attempts at affection before she understood that Navi operated on a different schedule and that the schedule was non-negotiable. She had been the only cat for 7 months when Luffy arrived. Emma had not gone looking for a second cat. She had a small apartment and 1 cat who had already rearranged it considerably, and that had felt like enough. She had gone to her friend Daniel's apartment to help him move, and Daniel had found Luffy in the wall of his old building, 3 weeks old, eyes barely open, making a sound too small to be called a cry. Daniel's new building did not allow pets. Emma had driven home with a kitten in her jacket pocket. Luffy was orange and very small and entirely certain that Emma was his mother. He followed her from the moment he could walk. He slept on her chest, he cried when she left the room and stopped crying when she came back, immediately, like a switch. He was 8 weeks old and he had already decided that this was his person and this was his home, and there was simply no further discussion to be had. The problem was Navi. Navi's reaction to the smell of another cat in her apartment was swift and unambiguous. She sat outside the spare bedroom door where Emma had put Luffy, looked at it for approximately 30 seconds, and then turned and walked away with the deliberate composure of someone who had decided not to dignify something with a response. Emma did the introductions carefully, scent swapping first, then sight through a cracked door, short supervised meetings, patience. Navi tolerated the process with the resigned air of someone being asked to participate in something they found mildly offensive. She did not hiss, she did not swipe, she simply communicated through posture and expression and the specific quality of her silences that she had not agreed to any of this and was only proceeding under protest. Luffy, for his part, was not discouraged. He was 10 weeks old, and he had not yet learned that indifference was a message. He watched Navi through the cracked door with pure, uncomplicated interest. He tried to reach his small paw under the gap. He made sounds at her that were somewhere between a chirp and a question. He was not performing. He was not trying to impress her. He simply saw another cat and wanted to know her, with the straightforward certainty of something that has not yet been told, that wanting is sometimes not enough. Navi looked at him once, then she looked away. If you are watching this and something about it feels familiar, you are exactly who this channel is made for. Stories like this deserve to be told. I see you still haven't subscribed. That honestly breaks my heart a little. Hit that subscribe button right now. You will not regret it. On the 9th night, Emma left the door open. She told herself she would stay awake and monitor. She fell asleep on the couch within 20 minutes, which was probably for the best, because what happened next did not need an audience. She woke up at 3:14 a.m. to silence. Not the tense silence of two cats circling each other, just silence. She got up and walked to the spare bedroom doorway and stopped. Navi was on the bed. Luffy was pressed against her side, his small orange head resting on her gray flank, rising and falling with her breathing. Navi's chin was resting on top of his head. Both of their eyes were closed. Navi's tail was wrapped loosely around him, not tight, not deliberate, just there, the way your arm ends up around someone in the night without you deciding to put it there. Emma stood in the doorway for a long time, without moving, without speaking, without doing anything that might break whatever this was. She thought about the parking lot and the dumpster and the wall in Daniel's building. She thought about two animals who had arrived in her life from completely separate disasters and ended up here, in this specific configuration on a Tuesday night in November, like they had been traveling toward each other the whole time without knowing it. She took a photo. The light was bad and the angle was wrong, and it is still the best photo she has ever taken. She did not send it to anyone. Some things are just for you. Moments like this one are why some stories are too important to keep to yourself. They have been inseparable since that night. Navi grooms Luffy every morning with the efficient dedication of someone who has accepted a responsibility and intends to carry it out properly. Luffy sleeps under her chin, which Navi permits with the expression of someone who has chosen not to make an issue of it. They eat side by side, they watch the window together. When one moves to a different room, the other follows within minutes. Not immediately, never immediately, but always eventually, like they are both pretending the following is coincidental and both know it is not. Emma still has the armchair by the window, technically. Navi has claimed it in practice. Luffy has claimed the space on the armrest directly beside her, which Navi has chosen not to contest. Emma sits on the couch. She does not mind. Two cats from two different parking lots and two different walls found each other in a spare bedroom on a Tuesday night and have not slept apart since. There is no explanation for it that holds up under examination. There is just the fact of it. Quiet and complete and entirely convincing. If you are thinking about a second cat, go slowly, do the research, trust the process. Because sometimes what looks like incompatibility is just two animals who have not yet had their night. Did your cats choose each other, or did you choose for them? Tell me in the comments.